Morning, everybody. It's day 6. It's time to eat some breakfast. It's time to go up the mountain. Try to get up here a little early and see if we can glass up some muleys. Hopefully we glass up a big muley. I feel good about today, though. This spot's kind of off the wall. I'm hoping nobody else shows up. I know there's been other people out here, but I'm hoping they just kind of stayed on this side and they're not crossing across where I'm going. So we'll see what happens. Day 6. This is what freaking sucks about public land and makes it so challenging. I literally parked on the other side of that hill so that people would know somebody was back here. It's only a couple 100 acres. Oh, here comes this guy right up the ridge behind me. 30 minutes after shooting light, right when the animals are supposed to be moving. I'm sitting here watching a buck. He's way over there on private. Alright, update. Day 6 has went just about like the past 5 days before day 6. I literally get here last night, stay in the truck, hike over this ridge, do it right, try to keep my scent blowing the right way, change my clothes up there so I didn't sweat, everything. And I get up there 30 minutes after daylight, boom, here comes a hunter. About an hour after daylight, boom, here comes another hunter. And then here comes the whole parade of people just walking in way after daylight. I had a pretty decent, like, it looks like a 2x2 with, like, his G2 was split, so I guess he's a 3x3. I probably would have shot him if he had came on public. He was only about 400 yards off of public. If he'd have kept coming down, I'd have shot him, but I saw a little spike buck, passed him up, got up on the ridge to go look at that little 3x3, and sure enough, here comes the firing squadron. They shoot like 8 times, and it was, all I could see was it was a little buck. I don't know what size. I don't know if it was that spike, but it was a little buck of some kind. So I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm going back to where I started. I don't care if I don't see another mule deer. I want to see, I'd like to shoot a big mule deer, but I don't care. Honestly, I'd rather go up there and not see a bunch of people and just be out in the wild, you know, doing my best trying to kill one, but I can't handle just back and forth. Every day I'm driving back and forth trying to get away from people, and I just can't in the slow country. So I hope I go up there and there's still some deer up there. You know, there may not be, but it's gonna be a good time. I like it up there, and you know, it's a long hike in. I don't think I have to deal with many people, so that's where I'm going. So I'm gonna stop in town, I'm gonna get me some pizza, and I'm gonna go do that. And that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of this trip, I think. So yeah, there's my rant. That's the plan.
Where's your pack?
So hopefully this means my trip's gonna turn around.
Yeah.
I get back to the trailhead, and the guys I met at the beginning of the trip down here, got to chit-chatting with them, guys from Arkansas. There's my pack heading up the mountain. Nice enough to go ahead and offer to pack my pack up there for me. And I think they're gonna head out tomorrow. So it's always nice to run into good guys like that back here. It makes you, makes me a little more happy to see people versus what I was earlier this morning. So I'm thankful for those guys that's keeping me from having to pack like 70 pounds up the mountain. So that's awesome. So thanks to those guys, I appreciate it. Alright, so let me give y'all an update for today. Day 6. It couldn't have started out any worse, honestly. I mean, it could have started out worse, but it started out pretty bad. I was really getting discouraged, which I still am having issues, but I went to my first spot, like I said earlier. You know the deal. I told you the story. But when I got back to the trailhead, as you saw, the guys I met on the first day were nice enough to pack my pack up for me. They packed it up to the trailhead where it splits, where I go up and where they were camped, which was awesome. Knocked out like 3.5 miles. I didn't have to carry my pack. Sat there and, BS'd with them for a little while once I got up there. And they're just super cool dudes, all of them, every single one of them. There's 4 guys. They're all from Arkansas. Super awesome dudes. And, it really revives your it really makes you realize that there's good people out in this world with all the stuff that's going on. Those guys don't know me from Adam. They just offered to pack my stuff up the hill for me, That's awesome. Guys like that make it worth coming out here on this public land and experiencing not just the hunting, but also the camaraderie with other people. Those guys were fortunate enough to shoot a bull, and then a guy they know also shot a bull, which is awesome. They were in elk the whole time, had a really good time. So anyway, I just wanted to give y'all an update. So I'm back where I started on day 1, and I am my plan is to go sit a meadow in the morning, see what happens, and then go from there. And then depending on what happens, I may go back out where I actually first started glassing, where we glassed up those mule deer back in September, for the evening, and glass there and see if I can turn something up like a big buck. But I've been seeing mule deer. I'm just not seeing the mule deer that I want. But I would like to kill a mule deer. I came out here to kill a mule deer. I'd like to get more meat for the freezer. That's always a plus for coming out hunting. It's not the only reason I hunt, but it is a major reason why I hunt. But so I'm gonna cook me a good supper tonight, get a good night's sleep, and then I'll be at it in the morning. So that's the end of day 6. set up on a spot that Nathan and Nick and I hunted 3 years ago. I haven't hunted it since because I haven't had to, but it's kind of like a little knob that overlooks a bunch of open aspen, brush type stuff. And I was hoping that some mule deer would be using this thing, and they are, because I'm watching 3 of them right now, but still no bucks. That's a good sign. It's right at daylight, so I got a lot of day ahead of me. At least I'm seeing animals and not people. Alright, well, I just made it back to the tent. I'm gonna sit here for a second, cool off a little bit, and work my way up to the ridge where Chandler, Ben, and Joseph and I saw those big mule deer. I don't know if they're still out there. I know I'm seeing does here, but no bucks. I don't seem to be seeing any for sure big buck tracks either, so I'm gonna go back up that ridge, and who knows, maybe they are up there and I just didn't see them the first day and a half I was here. Alright, well, I'm still sitting up on this ridge top. So far I've seen 2 elk. That's it. I haven't seen any deer. I got about, I don't know, an hour and a half of light left. Then I got a long hike back to camp. Long hike. But those big bucks usually move at last light, so I'm gonna stay out here till the end of light. Hopefully one of them comes through. I haven't even seen a doe out here, so I'm not sure that they're even still using this area. We'll see. Who knows, a big old giant buck might walk right by here in a few minutes, but we'll stay positive. We'll see what happens. Alright, let me go ahead and give y'all an update while I wait on my food to cool off. It's the end of day 7. I went out on the main ridge that I talked about going out on, where we saw those big mule deer back in bow season. Saw 2 elk, and that's it. So as of right now, the game plan is to set all day on the meadow where I saw those does this morning, in hopes that since it is so close to November, that I'll start seeing some bucks coming in to check out the does. So that's the game plan. It's going to be kind of short and sweet tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and eat my food and hit the hay. Oh, let me show you something. So I'm actually pretty proud of this idea. It's pretty gross, but I left my freaking spoon at the truck 4 miles from here. So I went ahead and made me a homemade spoon with electrical tape and a little piece of stick that was split. Works pretty good. That's it. Good night. Alright, good morning everybody. It is day 8 of my Colorado mule deer hunt. I'm sitting back on the same meadow I was at yesterday morning. So far I've seen one doe. I can't tell if she's still out there or not. She is about 680 yards, feeding towards the woods. As of right now, the plan is to sit here all day, but hopefully the good Lord will let me shoot one here in about an hour. I'd love to try to shoot one today. It'd give me another day to get it all cleaned up and frozen. Versus if I kill one tomorrow, it's going to be hard to get the meat ready to fly by Tuesday. But we'll see. That's all up to him. Having a good time though, for sure. But I'm about ready to go home and see my wife and my dog and my family, for sure. Well, so far today's been pretty uneventful. That's why I haven't really done a whole lot of video. I've seen one doe all day, and I haven't moved 10 feet all day. So that's kind of the way this trip's went so far. But I haven't seen any other people. There's a spot that Nathan and I hunted last year. He put a couple stalks on some mule deer with a bow. There's probably going to be a lot of people, but tomorrow morning's really my last opportunity. So if I don't get it done this evening, which I might, I still got about an hour and a half of daylight left. But if I don't get it done this evening, I'm going to hike out of here, go get camp, hike all my stuff out to the truck, drive over to that spot, and be ready for in the morning. The plan is tomorrow, if I have to do that, is either, more than likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride the road the first hour of daylight, and then after that I may start hiking and try to bump something up until about lunchtime, and then that's pretty much going to end my hunt. But let's not worry about that. Let's worry about killing one this evening. That'd be so awesome. Big old buck come through here. Man, I'd be stoked. Hopefully it's a big one, but at this point, I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt for not shooting that 3-point that those guys showed to me when I walked up on them. That's really the only opportunity I've had at a buck. Well, I take that back. I had an opportunity to spike buck the other morning, but I wasn't going to shoot a spike. Now I kind of wish I would have shot that 3-point, but at the time I still had 6 days of hunting left, and I thought I could put something together. If I go home empty, oh well, that's how it is. You don't kill one every trip. Though I would like to kill one. It's been a long trip out here. A lot of money spent. A lot of time away from my family. A lot of long, cold hours out here in the backcountry. I've learned a lot. Mostly what not to do. But that's better than nothing. Well, let's get off of here and see if we can kill one. Got a couple does out here. Maybe they'll bring a big one in. She's way out there, about 680 yards.
Video series. I've had to really make it simple for a guy like me. I'm like simpleton of anybody. And you know, saying this is kind of confessional mode. When I moved to Bozeman in 19.
Alright, let me give you an update before I call it a night. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. The evening hunt ended up with like 6 or so doe mule deer, and I don't even know how many elk. A whole herd of them came through right at last light, and I could hear them and I could see them, but I couldn't count how many there were because I think there were still a bunch back in the woods. But that was pretty cool. Still no bucks. I don't know where the bucks are, where the bucks have been. I don't know. I know there were some rubs right behind where I was at that are definitely from mule deer, definitely from this year. And I don't know why I'm not seeing any bucks, but I ended up driving over to a place that Nathan and I hunted last year. We saw several good mule deer bucks. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But I'm going to go to a spot in the morning and sit down in this big drainage where I can see a whole lot of area. So we'll see. Maybe in the morning I'll kill a big one. Who knows? It'll be the last day. Oh, last day of buck. That'd be nice. I've never done that on a trip, but it'd be cool to go ahead and do it. So anyway, I'll probably hunt in the morning, hunt till about lunchtime, and then depending on what I see will depend on whether I hunt tomorrow evening or whether I just start making my way towards Denver. So thanks for sticking with me so far. It's been fun. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm ready to get home. Hopefully I kill a big buck in the morning. Alright. We'll catch you in the morning. Alright, last morning. I'm gonna eat me some breakfast, get my clothes on, and I ain't sure yet whether I'm gonna hike down a trail or not, or if I'm just gonna ride these roads up here on this national forest and see if I see anything. There's a lot of meadows connected to this road that you can see from the road, and it doesn't look like there's very many tracks of people really leaving the road. So I might just glass from the road, and maybe a big old buck will be sticking out in the field somewhere. I don't know. I don't want to go too far off the trail either, even if I do go off the trail, because with it being the last day, I need to have time to get the meat out and get it somewhat frozen before I get on the airplane tomorrow morning. So we'll see what happens. It's been a good trip. I'm just tired of the cold. I'm ready to go home, but I'm not quitting. I still got some time to hunt, so I'm going to keep on hunting. That's what it's all about, pushing through, pushing yourself, and you know, when you want to quit, just keep on pushing. So I'm going to eat some breakfast, change my clothes, well, really just put my pants on, and get going. See what happens. Moose over here. It's crazy. I can't find mule deer, but there's a moose at over 10,000 feet. I don't understand it. Well, this is going to conclude my first solo backcountry hunt. This was my mule deer hunt here in Colorado. It's been a trial. It's been rough. I'm beat up. I'm banged up. I'm tired. I miss my family, my wife, my dog. I've been so blessed to be out here. It's just been awesome. I thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for keeping along with me throughout the journey on this trip. No, I didn't kill a mule deer. I never even saw a mature mule deer buck on public land the entire time. So part of that's probably my fault of immaturity and inexperience in mule deer hunting. But also it's a hard time of the year to hunt. You know, we had that giant storm come through and really throw a monkey wrench in everything's patterns and things like that. I think they're in the process of moving, you know, from higher to lower, but they're not low yet. The does are low, the little bucks are low, but the big bucks are still up high. I don't know where at. I did everything I could to get as high as I could until I stopped seeing deer. And then I came down a little bit and I started seeing does, but no bucks. I saw bucks sign. The areas that I went to looked great. Looked like there should be mule deer bucks there. I just never saw them. I was in elk thick the entire trip. If this was an elk hunting trip, we'd have been tagged out. I'd have been tagged out early. But I just couldn't get on the bucks. And then I would go low, and the lower I would go, the more mule deer I would see. But I was seeing little bucks, no mature bucks whatsoever. And I saw one halfway decent buck on private land. And it wasn't super, super low. It was kind of in between. But then hunting the public land around there was just brutal. Hundreds of people. After doing this rifle hunt, the pressure that we see in bow season out here is nothing compared to this. I've never seen this many people in one area. And I hunted 4 different units. And the lower I got out of the mountains, the more people I ran into. Which is fine. It's public land. But when you're on a hunt like this, if you're wanting to kill mature bucks or mature bulls, you got to get away from people. That's just how it is. So that's why I ended up spending so much time up high. I was seeing less mule deer, but more quality. I was having more quality hunts. Down low, there was just so many people, you know, coming in, driving trucks, shooting, whatever it may be. It wasn't the kind of quality hunt that I was looking for. So I spent most of my time up in the mountains, in God's creation. I mean, this place is so beautiful. I mean, it's just ridiculous how beautiful this place is. But I experienced everything from -30 and snow to forest fires to Everything. I mean, about everything you could experience in a hunt, I experienced on this hunt. Fatigue, mental fatigue, physical fatigue, just, loneliness from being solo. I mean, I don't mind hunting by myself, but I am a social person. That's why I do this YouTube stuff. And, if you know me, I like to talk. So that was hard in itself, just not talking to people. Luckily, most of the time I had signal where I could talk to my wife, and that helped out a lot. I can't talk about my wife. I get emotional. But there were several days where talking to her really kept me out here. But anyway, that being said, thanks for watching this. Thanks for sticking along through the journey of this hunt with me. And, keep watching my stuff on YouTube. There's going to be some good stuff coming out, some good quality footage that I've got. And I just appreciate you watching. I'm hoping that you get something out of this. And give me some feedback on my videos. I always like to try to get better at what I'm doing. Try to, put stuff out there that y'all want to see. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe down below. And check me out on Facebook and Instagram. And we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.